All right, let's talk about the number one thing Monty Williams got to do to get the Pistons to be a success. Obviously, that's a subjective word. What is success? Some people say play-in, playoff, contender, compete for the division. I mean, let's just say a playoff team. And it's one thing that Dwayne Casey failed to do. It's not development. Even though you need these things, it's not development. It's not development. It's not camaraderie. It's not pace. It's not energy. It's not maturity. Even though they need to do those things, the number one thing that he needs to do, check out Detroit Pistons top players, by the way. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, is tailor make a team to their strength. That's what it is. If their strengths are coming this year and it's shooting threes, then hey, do that. If their strength is playing in transition, do that. If their strength is driving to the bucket and attacking the rim and shooting the most 2-pointers and in the paint shots they can, you do that. Whatever resources you do, you tailor make, you build this team around what they do well. That's it. It's not a one size fit all. It's not, oh, we got to go out there and jack up 33s a game, and if you can't shoot threes, you can't get on the floor, you won't get playing time. No. You got two really good young guards, fresh legs, who both can get to the rim and finish at the rim and do okay shooting free throws. You know? So when you kind of got that recipe, yes, they should be running guys up out the gym. Yes, they should be attacking and getting Ivy and K to the free throw line. Yes, they should be doing a lot of high pick and rolls and lobs to Wiseman and Duren. You know, yes, they need to get shooters around them so when they drive, they can kick. Yes, they need to be, from what I've seen from them, yes, they need to be trying to get to 10 to 15 feet and get to the rim. Those are things that I see that they got right now. They got a bunch of guys that's trying to develop aspects of their games, and it's taking the team further and further away because that's what Dwayne Casey wanted. You know, Isaiah Stewart should be focusing on being the best energy guy in the league. He should be on the team that okay, he don't shoot threes well. Let's get him, you know, in a lineup where they getting up and down the floor. He can outrun his counterpart. He can rebound, finish at the rim. You know, he can outrun most big men. Let's get him in the energy system. Let's get him in pick and roll and get him his great hands coming down the paint. When Killian Hayes in the game, IVK in the game, if you're going to stick with Killian and stewing on them, guess when Ivy and Killian in the game, guess what we want to do? We want to push the pace. We want to get Killian in transition where he ain't in half court where he can find guys. You know, and if we are going to be in half court with those guys, with Killian Hayes, let's get a lot of motion, a lot of backdoor cutting. Let's get a lot of high pick and rolls. Let's get a lot, you know, and so. He has to tailor make each player, each lineup to what they do well. He can't come in and say, well, I got to make these players fit within this scheme. No. And that was the problem Dwayne Casey did. You can't just say, man, you know, hey, y'all got to work on y'all three-point shooting. We ain't going to get good till y'all shoot the three well. Nah. Look at you know, if you got ingredients to make a pizza, you're not going to fuck around and make a macaroni and cheese or a spinach pie. Whatever these ingredients that he has to have the recipe to make the chili, to make the spaghetti, to make the calamari, whatever ingredients that Troy Weaver provide him with, he has to make the best meal possible. And I'm pretty sure him making that amount of money, he'll have a say-so on the roster as well, too. But that's what it boiled down to. That's what it truly boiled down to. That's what it boiled down to, is him tailor-making this franchise, this team, to what they do well. And obviously, the mainstay has got to be defense. We know that. We know some of these things that I named that they got to do. But in my humble opinion, the number one thing that they have to do is he has to say, what do I have here? Let's do what they do well. And if what we don't do well, guess what? As we go along, we hope that they become better shooters. We hope they become better in the half court. We hope they become better defensively. And if some guys can't find a role within what they do well and they don't fit together, they don't play well together, guess what we gonna do? We gotta swap them out. Then we gotta make adjustments. Pistons, you know, each Piston team had to make adjustments that won championships. If it was getting rid of Dantley and getting Mark Aguirre, if it was, you know, drafting Dumars, Sally, Dennis Rodman, if it was acquiring Chauncey, Rip, if it was like, oh man, we feel like we need that little to get over the hump. Oh, we got to trade Bobby Sorrell and son to Atlanta to get Rasheed Wallace. If whatever it was, they had to make a lot of tweaks amongst the way. Getting rid of Chucky Atkins, they had to make a lot of tweaks amongst the way. And now they got this big ball of clay or whatever. They got this Lego set. Not every piece is gonna go to the finished product, and they finished product might just be a playoff team. That might be their ceiling. They finished product might be they not even good enough to be a play in a playoff team. You got to start over around guys. They might be Eastern Conference contender. They might be NBA championship contender. But there's going to be it's a lot of pieces that I see that was under Dwayne Casey that don't fit together. And they're really trying to make them fit because it seemed like, you know, and these guys really trying to fit. They trying to shoot better. They trying to do things, but everything. You don't go from being a subpar three-point shooter to a great three-point shooter. That's not how it works. When you trying to, you know, be a better shooter, it start right in front of the rim. Start with the micing drill. Then it start with the front of the rim where you get your form. Then you go, you know, a little bit off the block. You know, go about 10 to 15 feet. You start working on that elbow, free throw jumpers. You know, you start working within. You gotta be you gotta master the mid-range before you master the three-point shot. It's hard to tell a kid go out there, 20, 25 feet and start jacking up threes, and that's how you get better. No, you gradually make your way to that spot, to that three-point. And that's what they did with Isaiah Stewart. He working so hard, he working on parts of his game that's never gonna be his strong suit to fit into this game. Killian Hayes, he focusing on shooting threes, dribbling, being a better defender, getting his body correct. Focus on one thing at a time. If you're going to shoot, let's make sure you're the best 10 to 15 foot shooter out there first before we take you to three. If they want Killian to be a better ball handler, let's work on the ball handling. Let's put the emphasis on the ball handling. Then we'll work on the floater. We'll work on finishing at the rim. Then we'll make our way. But they trying to put the horse before the cart. Go shoot threes and then you can't dribble. Go shoot threes, you ain't got a bank shot or 10 to 15 shot. It just don't make no sense, but that's the number one thing he got to do. He has to tailor-make a team to what they do well and not try to fit the team in a round hole, around a square peg in a round hole. So check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially want to support the channel, Cash App, $, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Peace. Or just Spotify and Anchor, I'm sorry.